might be right. Thanks for including it. I think it turned out to be pretty good. I do too.
Good morning. I'd like to call to order the Human Resources Appointment and Equity Committee meeting. Today is Tuesday, October 19th. Council Clerk, will you please call the roll?
Good morning, and just as a reminder to all who are watching and listening that this meeting is being live streamed and recorded. Calling the roll, Ms. Brown,
Here.
Mr. Gallagher,
Here.
Mr. Miller,
Here.
Mr. Sweeney,
Present.
Ms. Conwell.
Present.
There is a quorum.
All right, excellent. Do we have any public comment?
No, Madam Chair, no one is signed in.
All right, I hope we've had an opportunity to review the minutes from the September 21st meeting. I'll ask, do we have a motion to approve?
So moved.
So moved by Miller, seconded by Gallagher. If there are no objections, all in favor of approving the minutes as recorded, please say aye.
Aye.
All right, excellent. Council Clerk, if you read the first item into the record, please.
Resolution number 2021-0231, confirming the county executive's appointment of Cheryl Brattis to serve on the Cuyahoga County Advisory Board on Senior and Adult Services.
All right, thank you very much. I'm going to turn it over to the Deputy Regional Director to give us a little background, please.
Good morning, Madam Chair. Per Article 3 of the Code of Regulations of the Cuyahoga County Advisory Board on Senior and Adult Services, the county executive nominates the following for appointment to the board: Cheryl Brattis for an unexpired term ending 12/31/2021. And the Cuyahoga County Advisory Board on Senior and Adult Services is the official advisory body to the Director of the Department of Senior and Adult Services and the Cuyahoga County Board of Commissioners. In this capacity, the council shall provide a forum for seniors, adults, consumers, elected officials, agency representatives, and others interested in the concerns of seniors and adults. And from DSAS, we have Maridale here on behalf of Cheryl Brattis to speak as she is recovering from surgery, so she can answer any questions or concerns you all may have.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Holly. The one question that I have with regards to Ms. Brattis's role, you listed a number of required positions. Which one does she fulfill? And if Ms. Couture is
Yes, I
able to
can answer that. Yeah,
Okay,
thank you.
and before we turn it over to you, are there any questions for Ms. Holly regarding the nomination from the committee?
Yes, I have a couple.
Councilman Miller.
Madam Chair, Ms. Holly, what's the normal length of a full term?
I believe the normal length of the full term is three years.
And my question is, since we're so late in the unexpired term, I'm wondering whether we know whether Ms. Brattis is available to serve a full term in addition to the unexpired term, and if so, whether the administration would like us to consider amending the legislation to provide for that.
Through the chair to Councilman Miller, Maridale will be able to provide that information, but if that is something that she is interested in as well as you all are okay with, we'd definitely be okay with that, the county executive.
We have no objection to that, Councilman Miller.
Okay. Any other questions, Councilman Miller? All right, so we'll take that into consideration. All right, Maridale Couture, you have the floor. If you'll state your name for the record and let us know why you're here and why you're stepping in for Ms. Brattis and why you think she'd be a good candidate today.
Thank you, Madam Chair. My name is Meridel Couture, and I'm with the Cuyahoga County Division of Senior and Adult Services. We are interested in having Cheryl Brattis become a board member again. She is an advanced practice registered nurse, a geriatric clinical nurse specialist, and has worked at Metro Health for 31 years. She's passionate about her work, focusing on older adults and improving their quality of life based on their values and their preferences. She's actively involved with older adult community-based education in senior centers and residences through the Aging Mastery Program. That's fall prevention, medication management, wellness checks, and answering questions about COVID-19. Cheryl would be, and she sends her regards and her regrets because she's recovering from surgery. She would have really loved to have been here today. She will be returning to the advisory board, having been an outstanding board member from 2012 through 2018. And she also served as our board chair 2017 to 2018. During her tenure, she's led the team planning the annual aging conference, now in its 26th year. So we're delighted to have her return to help inform us about our work and hope that she will be confirmed.
Thank you very much. Are there any questions for Ms. Couture? Councilwoman Conwell. Notice I looked to my left first.
Through the chair to Ms. Couture, is there any term limits? I don't think there's any term limits.
There's term limits of 3 years,
3
and
years.
they can serve 2 consecutive terms.
Okay, so would this be, I heard you say a break in there, so,
Cheryl was actually fulfilling an unexpired term of another board member. That's why we had it extend. That person left in May, and we had it extend until the end of this year.
so this would be her second.
She's coming back to our board, so she was fulfilling an unfulfilled term.
Gotcha, the first
And then
time.
she would be asked to be for the first 3-year term.
Gotcha.
So she could serve up to 6 years.
Thank you.
Any other? Okay, there being none. Councilman Miller, while I sincerely appreciate the forward thinking that you always provide this body, it is my humble request, because Ms. Brattis was unable to attend this meeting, that we stick with the timeline that has been listed in the resolution to allow her to come back and articulate in her own words her desire to serve in that 3-year term. So if there are no objections to that, I will make the motion to approve the legislation as presented on second reading suspension. Do I have a second?
Second.
All right, it's been moved and seconded. Are there any questions, comments, or concerns? There being none, all in favor, please say aye. Aye. All right, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Council Clerk, if you'll read the next item into the record, please.
Resolution number 2021-0232, confirming the county executive's reappointment of Sam Thomas III to serve on the Western Reserve Area Agency on Aging Board of Trustees.
All right, and I am going to turn it back over to Ms. Holly, if you'll give us a little bit of background, please.
Yes. Pursuant to Article 4, Section 2 of the Code of Regulations of the Western Reserve Area Agency on Aging, the county executive submits the following nomination for reappointment: Sam Thomas III for a 3-year term expiring on December 31st of 2023. The Western Reserve Area Agency on Aging is the state-designated funding, planning, and coordinating authority for home and community-based services and supports for older adults and individuals with disabilities. The organization serves Planning and Service Area PSA 10A, which includes the counties of Cuyahoga, Jaga, Lake, Lorraine, and Medina.
All right, thank you very much. Are there any questions from my colleagues for Ms. Holly? There being none, Mr. Thomas, you have the floor. If you'll state your name for your record, give us a little bit of background, and share with us why you'd like to continue to serve in this capacity.
Thank you for the opportunity. Sam Thomas III, and I am serving currently on the board of the Western Reserve Area Agency on Aging, and I've done so approaching 3 years now, and looking forward to the reappointment. Serving on the board has enlightened me in a number of ways, and I have a very selfish reason why I want to continue, as well as professional and wanting to help serve my community. My parents are 93 and 94 years of age, and I play a great role in, along with my other brothers and sisters, there are 6 others of us, and we take great pride in the fact that our parents are still with us, and Daddy was hospitalized with sepsis, which what former President Clinton just had, so we're familiar with that. And my father, at the time, was about 89 when he contracted it. We had to put him in a nursing home till he fully recovered. My father cried like a baby. He wanted to come home to be independent. And I have done everything that I can in order to rehab the house to make that available to him. Through the Western Reserve Area Agents on Aging, I've learned a lot of resources that can be brought to my parents, but at the same time, as I, work throughout the community, I have people that will call me and say, Sam, we have this senior in our family, we need help. And I've been a referral agent, to different staff members within the agency that will help those particular situations. A lot of my clientele are aged and needing of probate services. I do house calls because that's one of the first things they'll ask me, can you come and see me? I take great pleasure in going into the community. And one of my mottos ever since I was working in city government was we want to bring the doorsteps of City Hall to the doorsteps of the people in our community and the resources in that respect. So I want to continue not only that, intimate involvement in the community, but continue on the board. I started out as, not immediately, but I was the secretary of the board. Now I serve as the treasurer, and permitted the opportunity, I'd like to continue on in a leadership capacity. I'd like to see the board obtain funding to provide virtual capabilities and hardware in the homes of the seniors to connect them, especially in this pandemic time. I know my parents were very much involved in their hall, their Jehovah's Witnesses, but it's closed down now and they can't go anyway. So I'm in the process of equipping their house with the ability to have virtual involvement, with the services at the hall. So in a nutshell, that's basically who I am, why I want to continue, and would appreciate this council's approval of my reappointment. Thank you.
Thank you very much. You touched on a subject that kind of resonates with me as it relates to the digital divide, and you talk about the hardwiring and funding for those virtual capabilities. Is that one of the greater challenges? And if you, in addition to that, what would you identify as maybe another?
Another would be intergenerational housing. I envision that opportunity taking place in the context of a family within itself, because right now we're living longer, so there are grandparents, parents, and kids, and they can all learn from one another and help improve the quality of life. But aside from that, there are teenagers aging out of the foster care system in need of housing. And the county's involved in helping provide that housing, as well as housing for seniors. Let's put them together, and so that they can help care for one another and serve as mentors, or serve as, cutting grass, or whatever can be exchanged that will help improve the quality of life. So intergenerational living is another thing I'd like to see more dollars put behind. Madam Chair, thank you.
All right, thank you very much. I'll open it up to my colleagues if they have any questions. Councilwoman Conwell?
Through
And then
the
Gallagher.
chair to Mr. Thomas, I like your out-of-the-box thinking because I've thought of some things like that, never intergenerational housing, but more so with seniors kind of living together
Yes.
and helping one another. So we're on the same wavelength, and I've had discussions with Department of Senior and Adult Services, Director Mason, in regards to that, just same thing, pre-pandemic. So I need to circle back and see where her thoughts are. So thank you for that.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Councilman Gallagher?
Mr. Thomas, when were you at Cleveland State?
Yes,
When?
67, 71.
I'm looking at you because I paid attention back in those days. And I'm trying to put some hair on you.
I know.
But that was the glory days as it was building up, as the Sweeney family can attest.
Yeah.
Thanks for your thoughts on what to do. It's somewhat of a passion of mine that we take care of our seniors.
Yes.
And they're so often, when I was a councilman in Strongsville, I was called our young adults the donut hole because everybody had a program but them.
Yes.
So I started one that became rather successful. The donut hole I found quickly in Cuyahoga County are our seniors. And I'm trying to fill that as best I can. So
Yes.
I thank you for at least having the thought of thinking outside the box, like my colleague, Ms. Conwell, said. I just think we owe it to our seniors to provide them whatever we can. And I think there's more we can do. Obviously, there's more for everybody we can do, but certainly I think they've been left behind by Cuyahoga County, and I'm hoping we can step that up. Matter of fact, I'm leaving here when this is over to go say goodbye to a friend of mine who's 97.
Yes.
He's in hospice, World War II vet. And, not looking forward to that, but looking forward to seeing him. So, and thanking him for being him.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, well, I don't think you could find a better body of individuals who share your same passion and compassion for our senior community. I also have spoke about integrating security platforms for our seniors, especially as the Ring cameras become increasingly popular. If that is an option, that we can start setting aside those funds, and that would also piggyback off of your desire to implement some of those virtual features. And so we are pleased that you are willing to continue to serve in this capacity. I think everyone would share that same sentiment. So on that note, I'll make the motion to move this to the full body of the council under second reading suspension. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Sweeney. If there are no questions, comments, or concerns, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All right, thank you very much, Mr. Thomas. We will.
Personal note?
Yes, sure. Yes,
It was
Mr.
when we played our
Sweeney.
alumni basketball games, he always smoked me.
Oh, I wish I could say I was surprised by that, but.
Oh, another boom.
He's very kind. He's very kind. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you, thank you. Thank you all for coming before us. We appreciate your time and making the time, and it's always a pleasure and a privilege for making our constituents recognize who these individuals are that are coming before us. So if there is no miscellaneous business, this meeting is adjourned.
I'll see you later, Dale. I'll keep you up to speed.